Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you another episode review from Season 8 of The Loud House. So let's get right into it. Today's episode is Weather or Not. In this episode, Nacho the raccoon has the ability to accurately predict the weather, and Flip cashes in on the success that comes with it. This is a very unique episode because it focuses on two characters you would normally expect to see having more secondary roles, not really central. This time, Flip and Nacho have leading roles, with the latter getting a little expansion to his character. He can predict weather conditions by sniffing the air when a gentle breeze blows through. For what it's worth, I actually like this little quirk of his. It gives his character something that makes him a bit more interesting. It's certainly better than always viewing him in most episodes as the furry woodland version of Flip. But yes, Nacho proves to be more reliable than an actual qualified meteorologist like Patchy Drizzle. Patchy makes one prediction, Nacho makes the more exact prediction, and this leads to Nacho temporarily taking over Patchy's job at the news station while Mr. Drizzle works at the Food and Fuel. Nacho pretty much becomes a local town celebrity by this point, and of course, Flip sees this as a huge money-making opportunity for the both of them, at least in the beginning. From charging customers to come into the store to listen to the weather forecast, to selling merchandise with Nacho's face plastered everywhere, these two were making some serious bank, but that's when things started to change. Eventually, Flip started to care more about making a profit and only seeing Nacho as his proverbial cash cow. It got to the point where he outright canceled the vacation he and Nacho were planning at the beginning of the episode. He got Nacho a job to do the weather in New Jersey, and he even started capitalizing on the new gig before it even started by selling giant I Heart New Jersey Nacho plushies. The worst part was Flip wasn't coming along, and this understandably made Nacho feel very alone and very upset. You feel so bad for the little guy because he sees Flip as his best friend, for better or worse. But Flip cared more about the money than the feelings of his little furry and, dare I say, loyal partner in crime. Flip bought a cruise ship with the cash he was making, but after coming home and seeing how empty the store was without Nacho, he broke down and realized how badly he screwed up by sending his best friend away all for the sake of money. Flip finds out Nacho got a new job in Norway, and then he, Lincoln, and Clyde fly down to New Jersey to stop him from leaving the airport, nearly getting wrecked by an oncoming plane in the process. Flip makes his heartfelt apology by pleading for Nacho to not go to Norway, and finishes by saying all the money in the world doesn't matter if he doesn't have his best friend with him. I have to say, the entire sequence from Flip breaking down at the Food and Fuel to chasing after the airplane and then admitting he was wrong to treat Nacho so badly was very well executed. It's one of the few times where he shows genuine emotion for someone other than himself, and you know it's serious when his best friend sends him directly to voicemail instead of giving him the opportunity to try and smooth things over. In the end, Nacho agrees to come home, and Flip agrees to not only take him on the vacation he promised, but says his little friend never has to predict the weather ever again. Of course, he probably should have waited to say that until they got back to Royal Woods so they wouldn't have to fly home in the middle of a storm, but at least he got his friend back and got struck by lightning as a form of punishment, so everything breaks even. Overall, this episode impressed me a lot more than I thought it could. Flip and Nacho handled themselves very well as the main characters, and seeing them go through a rough patch made their friendship stronger by the end of the story. Nacho was my favorite character of the whole episode. Seeing him demonstrate his special weather predicting ability and embracing the celebrity treatment was both very intriguing and very entertaining. Flip also had a little moment of redemption towards the end when he discovered the downside to all of Nacho's success. A feeling of abandonment with no amount of money being able to fill the void he selfishly created. One minor critique I have would be Lincoln and Clyde going to the airport with Flip. I get how they motivated Flip to say what was in his heart, and Flip said those two were very good at all that touchy-feely stuff, but honestly, Flip could have and should have made the journey himself. Unless he was willing to say he needed those two there for emotional support, which he never does, by the way, Flip's apology would have carried more weight if Nacho had seen his friend risk his own life instead of endangering the lives of others if it meant trying to make amends. Like I said, this is only a minor critique, so it doesn't greatly affect my final score. The same applies to the scene where Flip incorrectly refers to the elected leaders of New Jersey and Pennsylvania as presidents instead of governors. But you know what? The one thing I really liked was the reference to the real-life groundhog who can predict the weather by seeing his shadow. As a Pennsylvania native, I'm glad the legendary Punxsutawney Phil got acknowledged on the show. It wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Anyway, I don't know what else I can say other than this episode was fun to watch. If you're looking for an episode that puts someone other than the usual main cast of characters in the spotlight, I recommend watching this one. You won't be disappointed, but maybe that's just me. With that said, I give Whether or Not an 8.2 out of 10. Well folks, folks, that concludes my review of Whether or Not. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.